In the year 2000, Netflix offered to sell itself to Blockbuster for $50 million. Blockbuster laughed them out of the room. 10 years later, Blockbuster was bankrupt, and Netflix was worth more than the entire video rental industry ever made. The company that looked unstoppable had already lost. It just didn't know it yet. Here's the thing about moats. Everyone talks about how to spot a great business. Almost nobody talks about how to spot a dying one while it still looks healthy. Blockbuster is the clearest case study we have. So let's walk through exactly how a 9,000 store empire destroyed itself, and what it teaches you about every safe stock in your portfolio. In 2004, Blockbuster was at its peak. 9,000 stores. 84,000 employees. Around $6 billion in revenue. If you wanted a movie on a Friday night, you drove to Blockbuster. There was no other option. And on paper? The moat looked enormous. Massive scale. A brand everyone knew. Real estate on every corner in America. But here's what nobody was looking at. A huge chunk of Blockbuster's profit didn't come from renting movies. It came from punishing you for bringing them back late. In 2000, late fees brought in around $800 million. Think about that. Their most profitable product was customer frustration. And that's the crack in the wall. Because the moment someone offers the same thing without the pain, you don't hesitate. You leave. Netflix started with a late fee. The legend goes that Reed Hastings got hit with a $40 charge for a late copy of Apollo 13, and thought, why does this industry work this way? True or not, the insight was real. No late fees. No driving. Mail the DVD, keep it as long as you want. Now here's the mid-video question, and I want your answer below. If you ran Blockbuster in 2000 and a tiny startup offered to sell for $50 million, do you buy it, or do you crush it yourself? Buy, or build? Tell me in the comments. Blockbuster chose neither, really. CEO John Antioco actually saw the threat. In 2006, Blockbuster launched Total Access, no late fees, mail plus in-store returns. And it worked. It was genuinely beating Netflix. Then came the boardroom war. Activist investor Carl Icahn clashed with Antioco. Antioco walked away in 2007. His replacement gutted Total Access to save money. And just like that, they handed the future back to Netflix. Here's what most people get completely backwards. They think Netflix had better technology, so it won. That's not the real lesson. The real lesson is darker. Blockbuster's greatest strengths became the exact reason it couldn't adapt. Those 9,000 stores? A massive fixed cost. That $800 million in late fees? A revenue stream they were terrified to kill. The brand built on physical rental? It anchored them to a dying format. Netflix had none of that baggage. So when the internet got fast enough, Netflix launched streaming in 2007 and simply walked through the open door. Blockbuster couldn't follow, not because it didn't see the door, but because its own business model was chained to the floor. Remember what I said at the start, the company looked unstoppable but had already lost. This is why. A moat that can't be defended without destroying your own profits isn't a moat. It's a trap. So how do you spot this before the market does? Ask 3 questions about any company you own. 1. Where does the profit really come from, and would customers flee if a rival removed the pain? 2. Are the company's biggest strengths also its biggest fixed costs? 3. If the industry shifted tomorrow, could this company follow, or is it chained to the old way? Blockbuster failed all 3. And the tragedy is, they had the answer in their hands twice. $50 million in 2000. Total Access in 2006. They said no to both. Here's the one line I want you to keep. A moat protects a business only until defending it costs more than the business is worth. Blockbuster didn't get out-innovated. It got out-adapted by a company with nothing to protect. The strongest-looking business in the room is often the one with the most to lose. And the most to lose means the least room to change. So, if you were running Blockbuster in 2000, would you have bought Netflix for $50 million? Yes or no, drop it in the comments. And tomorrow, we're breaking down a company that looks like it's dying right now, but might be the next great compounder. You won't want to miss which one.